Thank you. Hello, everyone from the St. John's Boys Choir. We're glad you're here. Welcome to 40 Years Strong in Song, our celebration of these past 40 years and a benefit to help support the next 40. I'm Paul John Rudoy, the Artistic Director of the St. John's Boys Choir, and I'll be your host. Now, we want to hear from you tonight, so tell us in the chat box below where you're tuning in from. We want to make sure we're all connected with each other, so no matter if you're local to Collegeville or in another state or country, we want to hear from you. Now, during our benefit tonight, you'll meet and hear from our choristers, their families, our board of directors, and others about why the St. John's Boys Choir is crucial to our central Minnesota community. You'll see behind the scenes footage and even a few performances from our rehearsals, which have been in person and COVID safe since January. And of course, you can donate in a variety of ways to ensure SJBC's future is as bright as it has been these past 40 years. Now, I know some of you are fairly new to the Boys Choir who are tuning in, so we've been around since 1981. We're singing at St. John's Abbey and throughout central Minnesota, across the nation, and internationally since we started in 1981. And from the year Brother Paul Richards founded SJBC, we focused our energy on top-notch musicianship, but also the human aspects of boyhood, including friendship and leadership, respect and professionalism, and most importantly, dodgeball. These boys are used to over 50 performances a season. I see you're in Colorado, also St. Joseph, awesome. These guys are used to a lot of performances every season. They're used to major tours every year and regular outreach to our younger generations through summer programs and school visits. And this is all possible thanks to many amazing and hardworking people who give of their time and talents to keep us going. Our choristers themselves, their families, our board of directors, our staff, and our community friends and donors. Now, I should mention that throughout this hour, you'll notice we will be talking about donating. Yes, this is a benefit, but not just any. We have a matching set of donations which could really make this event stand out for the St. John's Boys Choir. If we can get $20,000 by June 1st, hopefully the majority tonight, then we have a group of donors who have a doubling match that will kick in so we can reach 40 grand. They have already donated $20,000 toward this. So our goal is $40,000, hopefully the majority by tonight. So if you're willing and interested, then right below where you're looking and you see the chat below this screen, there's a donate button down below there. You can also donate by calling our office, 320-363-2558, where we have a couple parents who are helping us out on the phone bank, and they'll be able to take your phone call. Yep, Lisa and Angie, they're right there. They're helping us out. Thank you so much, guys, for helping. So speaking of a variety of amazing and hardworking people in the St. John's Boys Choir family, we'd like to show you a message from one of the veterans of the St. John's Boys Choir, Brandon Nordhughes.
Thanks, Paul, and welcome everyone. I've been with SJBC for the past 12 years and love seeing these boys move through the ranks, starting in training choir all the way to when they graduate when their voices change in Nova Voce. As we get started, we thought we'd show you one of Nova Voce's rehearsal performances, which we recorded just a few weeks ago. I Have Had Singing was first introduced to me at St. Ben's St. John's as a college student. Oxel Timer was my director, and since he's retiring this year from SJU, I would like to share the song in honor of him. We ended so many of our concerts with this piece, and Oxel always made a point of encouraging everyone in the audience to make music with family and friends. So whether you've had a bad day, need some inspiration, can't contain your joy, or burst into song and dance, give in to the music. We encourage you to hum a tune, whistle while you work, belt it out in the shower, or sing along in the car with the volume up, because no matter what our circumstances, we will always have singing. Now, without further ado, here is I've Had Singing, sung by members of Nova Voce.
Sing, sing. It just means like family, friends. I mean, relationships that probably will never be broken. I mean, it's just like a family. I started to have second thoughts about it. Like, first I thought, maybe I don't want to do this. It might be too hard. No second thoughts. I came first night. I'm like, we're doing this again. I mean, who gets to swim in the lake like during camp week in the summertime? Who gets to do that? Or do the house championship, having 4 houses like the Harry Potter books, or even the dodgeball cup, which I don't even participate in, but I don't care, it's still fun. And then even the talent show too. Well, to you, like 4th grade, 3rd grade types, like once you get in the boys choir, it's showtime. You gotta watch the conductor, you gotta learn how to sing properly. Now it's the real deal. You gotta sing with rounded vowels, you gotta articulate well. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you gotta prepare for. I'd be literally like just bummed because I probably wouldn't have met friends like Parker today, you know? I mean, I would never have met friends like anyone I've made. Though I will tell you that I made some friends in my school, but these friends here are my life. Like, all you parents, get your child to join the boys choir. I mean, help them use their gift. Put them in a choir. Put them in band or something like that. Like, help them use their talents.
Shout out to Riley for letting us in on what SJBC does for you. Riley, thank you so much. And also, thanks for talking about how SJBC will affect the boys who will go through our halls in the next 40 years and how it's affected the past 40. Now, as we all know, this year has been a little different. It's been a little odd, but that didn't stop the St. John's Boys Choir. Last fall, when we couldn't sing, we stayed in touch in different ways, including through our podcast, Boys Choir Today. Now, in that podcast, I taught songs that we could all sing together, so we felt a little less isolated, and I think it might be time for one of those now. Don't hang up. Don't leave. I'm going to be asking you to sing, and that is okay. We will have fun together. As with all of the songs that I taught on the podcast, this one will be around, and I'll teach you the main melody in chunks, and then we'll put it together. Even if you have only 2 people, you can sing this. Now, I want you to know I'm going to be using my looper, just like I've done in the podcast, so eventually we'll hear what it sounds like all together. But for now, you'll sing along with me. I'll teach you a line, and then you'll sing it back, and I'll sing it with you that second time. All right? And by the way, as we learn this, if you can think back about a favorite round or song that you like to sing with friends or family at home, I love to sing with my friends and family. It's really, really fun. So let us know in the chat down below, and maybe we'll bring some of those songs into our rehearsal room. Okay, so repeat after me. I'll sing this first. Anyone can sing. Ready? Now you. 1 and 2. Anyone can sing. Let's try that just one more time. It keeps coming back over and over. 1 and 2. Anyone can sing. Awesome. So the second half of that says, but we sing stronger together. So that first part goes, but we sing stronger. Just that sing there. 1 and 2 and. But we sing stronger. Good. And then the second half goes, together. Just sing together. Ready? Together. Let's put that together. So starting on but we sing stronger together. Everybody? 1 and 2 and but we sing stronger together. Awesome. So we're going to put it all together from the very beginning. You remember the anyone can sing? You can too. You can sing right now. I know you can. Let's try it right from the beginning. 1 and 2. Anyone can sing, but we sing stronger together. Awesome. So you learned the main part of the round. Now, sometimes, as in the podcast I mentioned, Sometimes the rounds are just that, and that's it. But then sometimes there's a slight difference in the end, and I'll teach you the ending of this round. So the first part is the same. It goes, anyone can sing. Repeat that after me just one more time. Ready? Anyone can sing. Good. And then the last part goes, but we sing strong with friends in song. But we sing strong with friends in song. I'll sing it one more time and then you sing it with me. It goes, but we sing strong with friends in song. Okay, let's do that whole last section, starting with anyone can sing, and I know you are. Let's try it. Ready? Anyone can sing, but we sing strong with friends in song. Awesome. Now, for our purposes today, because we're limited on time, and also because it gets a little complicated trying to do a beginning and an end, we'll just loop the main part, which you probably remember. And here's the cool part. You're going to sing all 4 parts with me. So basically, I'm going to start recording part 1. We'll sing it through, and then I'll hold up my hand for part 2, and then we'll add part 2 in. And then I'll hold up my hand for 3. We'll add part 3 in. So keep singing with me whenever I sing it. Okay? Let's try it. Ready? Anyone can sing? Ready? 1 and 2. Anyone can sing, but we sing stronger together. Anyone can sing, anyone can sing, we sing stronger, but we sing stronger together. Anyone can sing. Anyone can sing, anyone can sing, strong, we sing stronger together. Anyone can sing, anyone can sing, anyone can sing, strong, we sing stronger together. Anyone can sing, anyone can sing, strong, we sing stronger together. Then I'll sing the end. Anyone can sing, anyone can sing, strong, but we sing strong with friends in song. There we go, everybody. We learned a new song. And actually, I have to tell you, that is an actual new song. I wrote it for this event because we're 40 years strong in song. We should be singing a brand new piece for this celebration. So congrats, everybody. And thank you for taking a risk and singing with whomever you're hanging out with. Now, remember, in the comments, let us know where you're coming from and what you like about this event, what you've listened to. Maybe you found somebody that you haven't spoken to in a while. That's fantastic. That's our goal. Now, all of us at the St. John's Boys Choir feel and support our wonderful board of directors. It's amazing the support that they give us. And Denise Fandel, the chair of our board of directors, whom I cannot imagine going this past year without. She is here to talk with me a bit about how the SJBC invests in singing together and through music makes better young men. Hi, Denise. How are you?
Hi, Paul. Great. This is just wonderful. So great to be with you.
Absolutely. So could you introduce yourself to the many people who are watching, just a little bit about you?
Sure. My name's Denise Vandal, as Paul said. I was born and raised in St. Cloud, went to Apollo High School, and then I left for about 40 years and was down in Nebraska, but I have recently moved back in 2019, and that's when I became reacquainted with the boys choir again and began serving on the board. So it's great to be back.
That's amazing. I love that people who are connected with the boys choir in different ways then get more invested, like you, as a part of the board. That's amazing. And so we've been talking tonight a lot about how these boys have worked hard. I assume that part of the allure for the boys choir for you was that you saw not only great music being made, but also that these boys really cared about it.
Absolutely. Any boy can sing, but as our round says, everybody sings better together. It's definitely a communal thing. And I had the great privilege of being able to watch 2 of my nephews participate in the boys choir. So they're out there as alums now. And just watching them grow as young men through their experiences with the boys choir is great. I mean, they learned how to work together. They learn time management. They had to push through difficulties. I mean, the musicianship is a very big part, but it's really just one piece, as they move from the training choir to the junior varsity to the varsity, and then now Nova Voce, which we've added just recently. I mean, they see role models, they see themselves in the role models of the older boys. They learn leadership. And probably what's, best for me is looking at our huge alumni network that we have, the young men of character that we've built that are giving back to our communities, and from what we saw here, communities all around the country. I mean, I saw Colorado, Iowa, Nebraska, so it's just great.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. It's like, because you're talking about how the community investment and that it goes out of just Collegeville. I mean, we're across the region in central Minnesota, but we've had 40 years of a life, which is kind of amazing. So I totally get that, and I also
Yeah.
love that you mentioned that they're leaders. The part of the St. John's Boys Choir, probably even more than the musicianship, is becoming better people, better citizens, better young men, and they learn that through
Yeah.
our leadership camps. For people who might not know, they learn through leadership camps. They learn
Mhm.
through our programs, Sing in the Summer, Kids Sing, even when they start very young. And by the way, this is an opportunity. Anybody who's watching this, any choristers, like St. John's Boys Choir choristers, you should put in the comments where you first started with the boys choir. My guess is many of you started before you actually auditioned, right? You probably were a part of Sing in the Summer, or you probably saw the St. John's Boys Choir come to your school early on, and you saw them as leaders and you wanted to be like them. That was the case for me when I was in middle school and I joined a boys choir. Before I actually joined it, I just saw them as role models that I wanted to be like. That's our goal. And then
Well, it's
I love that
important.
you also mentioned touring. Like, that's so crucial for them.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big part. And our board of directors, our alums, I mean, the past board members who were part of that $20,000 match, they stepped up to the plate. I mean, we want to make sure that there's no barrier for any young man who wants to sing with the St. John's Boys Choir. And that's a big part of what we do besides supporting our artistic staff and our families. I mean, that's what the board is here to do. And I know my family, when we lost my father, started a scholarship fund specifically to make sure there aren't any barriers. And the board has used that, and we do have financial assistance. And that's what the contributions today and up till June 1st are going to do, is to help support young boys who want to sing with the St. John's Boys Choir. So thank you all for being here, and make sure you call in or you hit that donate button.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Denise. Thanks for taking the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Paul. Good luck the rest of the show.
All right. See you soon. Yeah. So, I mean, it's apparent from the board, from the families, from the choristers themselves, that we all work hard so that the St. John's Boys Choir is more than just a pretty sound. These are professionals. These are young professionals building character, and they certainly work hard. I mean, case in point, our choirs this year started rehearsals in January. They didn't start rehearsals in August like they usually do. And they also had nearly a year without the usual St. John's Boys Choir musicianship training, And already we've come so far. We have an example of this with our junior varsity choir, our mid-level treble choir, and their director, Josh Smith, is here to let us in on their work.
Thanks, Paul. And hi, everyone. My name is Joshua Smith. I've been with SJBC for the past 5 years, and it's been so rewarding investing in the junior varsity choir, which is the bridge between training choir and the top-tier ensembles in our concert choir. Junior varsity has been very hard at work since we started in January. Even with everything going on these days, these boys come in prepared to invest all of their energy in the music and their friendships with each other. The piece that I've chosen for our spring gala this year is one that we did a couple of years ago. I think it was my second year with the choir. It's called Shoshone Love Song, which is a traditional Native American text with music written by Roger Emerson. I really enjoy this piece's simplicity and attainability for young voices. I really love how it teaches, especially young boys, the importance of singing melodically. Also, another reason why I chose it is initially when I first chose this piece, I chose it with the purpose of giving Mr. Kaminsky some additional podium time that year, since he was just about to finish college and go into a world of teaching as well. And if you know what kind of piano player I am, this song is easily within my wheelhouse. So I was able to support on piano and watch and give recommendations for Mr. Kaminsky's conducting when we first did it a few years ago. Again, the singability of this piece, I just love it. I think it fits our boys' voices quite well. And even though it's a love song, I appreciate that it's actually more of a song about friendship in my mind. So please enjoy Shoshone Love Song, The Heart's Friend, with music by Roger Emerson.
Thanks to Mr. Smith, Mr. Matt Kaminsky, and the boys in junior varsity for that beautiful song about friendship. And in their jammies, no less. Love it. Also, it's a good thing that those guys like each other. Otherwise, they couldn't sing a song about friendship so well. Now, just some reminders. We have a donate button. Yes, I know this is new news to you, but you can look below where, if you're watching on our website, right below, there's the live chat. You can drop a comment, and then right below, there's a donate button. Or you can call in at 320-363-2558. Now, as you can see, the St. John's Boys Choir experience is super rewarding, and we wanted to talk a little more about that from the families themselves. So I've asked a few parents to join me in talking about why St. John's Boys Choir deserves your support. Hi, both of you. Thank you so much for taking the time. So I'm going to introduce each of you individually, and then we can just kind of have a conversation about what it's like being a part of the St. John's Boys Choir. So first up is Sarah Maloney. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your boy and how long you've been associated with SJBC?
Thanks for having me, Paul. As you said, I'm Sarah Maloney. My son, Gavin, just turned 12, and he is in the varsity choir. He auditioned for the boys choir in January of 2019. But before that, like you were talking about earlier with Denise, he took part in Sing the Summer and Kids Sing. So he was super excited to have the opportunity to audition. And since joining, along with learning the fundamentals of music and discipline, and what has really been great for him is just the friendships. Like he has found his people in the boys choir, and I am so happy for him to have that experience. How about you, Kara?
Yes, hi. Thanks for having me. Yeah, so we have been a part of the St. John's Boys Choir now for quite a while. I've had 3 sons who have been involved in it. Our oldest is a 10th grader, so he started. Gosh, I don't know. That's too much math on the spot. A long time ago, and now I've got Nicholas, who's in the varsity choir, and Simon Rashavi, who is in JV. And it's been an incredible experience. I went to school at St. Ben's, so I knew about the boys choir from back in the day when I was in choir, and I'd see the boys up in their red robes performing at concerts. And I remember thinking back when I was in college, I hope I have a son, because I really wanted to be able to have my own. This was before I even had kids. But I just remember just thinking what an amazing program to get these young boys up and singing at such a young age, and looking so, I remember thinking, angelic. And I think I wished a little hard, because I didn't get just one son, I got 3. So I'm not complaining. It's been wonderful.
And it's amazing that all 3 have been in the boys choir. You know, you can't assume that all 3 would love to sing, but it ended up being the case. That's super exciting. I have to tell everybody, this past Thursday was Gavin's birthday. And the reason I know that is because Sarah helped bring a bunch of cupcakes for all of us. So thank you so much for feeding us after all that hard work in rehearsal.
You're welcome. Who doesn't like cupcakes?
I mean, it's ridiculous. Actually, they definitely perked up when I mentioned that there was going to be cupcakes. That was it. So very exciting. So I'm curious, we'll start with the heavy subjects and then we'll get to the more fun stuff. But what is it about the St. John's Boys Choir that deserves the support? I mean, we've talked about it from a variety of perspectives, from Denise, and we've heard from Riley. But from your perspective as moms, as family members, what is it about the Boys Choir that needs all the people watching to support it on a regular basis? What about you, Kara?
Yeah. So the boys choir has given my boys so many opportunities. It's hard to really put a finger on just one thing. There's just been so many, from, like I talked about, seeing these angelic boys who they're being exposed to culture, they're traveling, to the friendships that they're getting out of this. I actually asked my boys, for some of their favorite memories from being involved in the boys choir. And, you would think my oldest would have said, oh, we got to go to France and Spain and do this and this. And their answer was the bus rides, that on their tours, because yes, they're getting exposed to all these amazing things. They're performing, they're learning music, but they're still boys. And so the boys choir is giving them this aspect of both, of being involved in the arts, making music, learning how to use their voices in a healthy way, and normalizing singing in a culture where there's so much out there about, being in sports and all of that, which is great too. But to make being involved in something like this an acceptable and comfortable and encouraged thing, I think is really incredible for our boys.
I totally agree. Like, honestly, I have to tell you that I felt I was made fun of when I was a kid because I just could not stop singing. And then when I finally got to the boys choir that I was in, the American Boy Choir, it was like I had found my people, as you mentioned, Sarah. And I mean, Sarah, speaking of Gavin, I interviewed him for one of the podcast episodes, and I mean, he loves musical theater, and the St. John's Boys Choir does musical theater. Like, that's something that I've not seen with many boys choirs, which is incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Boys on Broadway is such a fun thing that the kids get to do. And as a family, we really enjoy watching it. And I think what's really important too, Kara touched a lot on what is good for the boys for themselves and how they become friends and the experience they have. And then they get to share that with their community, which is incredibly important to spread a love for the arts, throughout the area. And they tour as well, which is just incredible. The experience of doing it and the ability to share their love of the art far and wide is just increasing.
That's amazing. And so now we get to the fun part. Do either of you have any fun, stories or tour experiences that you've heard of and or seen? Because they are boys, as you said, Kara.
Yep.
That's very true.
Yeah. Like I said, when it just cracks me up that I ask them for a favorite memory, and they love those bus rides, watching movies and hanging out. And as from the parent perspective, just the performances, the live performances, like I think it was last year that they performed Lion King, and getting to see my boys up there in costume. That's a mom memory that I'll never forget, being able to see my kids up there and shining like that. So that's really fun.
That's incredible. And I mean, like for Gavin, he's got many years left in the boys choir, which is very exciting. So it's just fun that the boys commit to being there for at least 5-6 years, which is incredible. You see them grow in so many different ways. So, well, Sarah and Kara, thank you so much for being here. It's great to see you, and it's great to hear how the St. John's Boys Choir has affected your family all for the better. So thanks so much.
Thanks for having us.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll see you later. Yeah, it's just amazing. I mean, here I've only been here for a year, and already I've seen so many different aspects of this boys choir as crucial to our local and national and international choral communities, but also just our broader community, as we've been mentioning, and your donations make this happen. It makes a huge difference in many, many ways. And we'll talk about various ways that your giving affects SJBC specifically in a moment. There's always a donate button down there. You can call in. We've got our parents. Hopefully they're not bored. That's good. But for now, after hearing about all the boys choir does, let's remind us of the result of that investment. Here is a quintessentially SJBC moment from a recent rehearsal with the Treble choir, which combines our junior varsity, which you just heard, and our varsity, the top tier treble ensemble. And on one hand, this is a famous piece, O Colored Earth by Steve Heitzig. It speaks to the hope for peace in the world and love of the earth, in ways that few songs do. And then, on the other hand, just like the last piece, we were particularly comfortable when recording this because it was Jammies Day, so we were looking especially stylish. Now, while you're enjoying this recording, tell us in the chat about a favorite song or songs that you love to hear SJBC sing.
Sister
Do a victory dance. I mean, how could we not do a victory dance? We were in our jammies and we did a great rendition of O Colored Earth. So awesome. So many of you dropped in the comments so many great songs. I mean, Christmastide, that's a great one because it brings me back too to my time in the American Boy Choir. It's the same deal. To the mothers in Brazil, I have been hearing nonstop about that piece. I'm so excited for the boys choir to probably do it next year. That's the hope. And so many others. I mean, the repertoire is what people remember, the performances. That's incredible. And just like that, O Colored Earth. Thanks to our treble choir and Mr. Kaminsky again for that awesome rendition. Now, it's been amazing to see so many ways that the St. John's Boys Choir is transforming our communities and our young men. And now is the time to make sure it continues into the next 40. Especially after such an unprecedented year. I mean, the pandemic, like who could have seen this coming? A significant donation of any level for you, makes a huge difference, especially given that we have that $20,000 match on the line. Remember, we're aiming for $20,000 of donations tonight and through June 1st, which combined with that match means $40,000 in honor of this incredible 40-year milestone. Not many choirs can talk about a milestone like this. That's amazing. And we're funded by these donations, so please support it. We're going to put up some graphics now so we can show you kind of how the organization works in a variety of ways, and it will help you to understand how your donations matter. We're funded entirely through donations, family pledges, ticket sales, and grants. And as you can see on the right, our management costs are only a quarter of our expenses, which means 75% or more goes to the programs that make it possible for these boys to become the great young men that we hope they will be, And in the following slide, you can see how all of this helps the parents see the true value of their boys being a part of the St. John's Boys Choir. This graphic is something that we give to all the parents as they enter the SJBC, and it helps them see that it's only a small portion that they're paying, a significant portion for them, but a small portion that then goes into a much broader investment in their boys, which is amazing. I mean, the benefits far outweigh the costs, especially given the level of individualized lessons and instruction the boys usually get beyond the rehearsals and the performances throughout the season. So the big question, how can you help? Well, we have some examples of how your donations can match our expenses. The first way to think about this is that these guys got to look the part. We've got a lot of different stuff, especially with musical theater, especially with Christmas concerts. We have vestments, we have bow ties, we have a lot of different things. And part of being in the St. John's Boys Choir is looking and feeling like you're a part of it. We also have a robust exchange program, which helps families pass down their gently used SJBC materials to other families. So everyone, no matter their situation, can have a full set of SJBC swag. But while they're gently used, these are boys, as Kara said, and sometimes these materials need repairs. So if you're looking to help us out a big deal, you can donate $250 to repair an entire wardrobe. Or you can spend only $100 and help us repair a set of vestments. Or $50, those music bags get used a ton and they wear out. Or even $25 helps us repair a bow tie. But that's only looking the part. The next step for the boys is actually becoming a boy in the choir. So they need to learn the skills in the music room, in the rehearsals. And this next tier invests in a boy's ability to experience the boys choir day-to-day programming to its fullest. You could spend $75 and invest in 1 month of individualized lessons. They're crucial to the musical development of the boys. Or if you want to invest a little bit more, you can spend around $200 for an entire year of a boys' theory classes. That's incredibly important for us to be able to go through as much musical material as we need in a normal year. Or you could spend $500 and help a boy who maybe can't usually afford it, their family maybe can't afford it, help them get all of this individualized attention musically. It's very, very important that they have these individualized lessons. But beyond looking the part and learning how to be the part, it's the actual performing that is the real St. John's Boys Choir experience. And above all, touring is far and away the most expensive endeavor for our boys, our families, and the organization, but it changes lives. We've heard this over and over tonight. It forges memories that will last forever. I mean, look at those slides. These people have, these boys and the staff have been in so many different places, and those memories will last a lifetime. So you could help them. You could spend around $300. You could donate around $300, and that helps roughly cover all the meals on a given tour for a boy. Or you could spend $750, and you could help subsidize plane travel. I mean, if we're talking going to Germany and Austria next summer, that is expensive. International travel is very expensive, so that would be super helpful. Or you could spend $1,000, and you can help us with our bus rental, because it's a charter bus. Those bus rides are very cool, but it is very expensive. Or if you want to really help out, spend $2,000 and help a boy or a family who wouldn't be able to pay for the tour, the most expensive thing. I mean, that's the way to help them. That's an incredible thing. And speaking of large donations, we couldn't do this without asking for angel donors. I mean, these are people who would go above and beyond anything mentioned before. And it would make it possible for us to reach our match. That's the most important thing right now. We have a match, a $20,000 match, thanks to all those donors, previous donors. Thank you so much. But up through June 1st, we have to reach that. That's our goal. And if we can do that, then we will get to $40,000 for the future, for the next 40 years for the St. John's Boys Choir. So please help us with any large-scale gift of $25,000, $5,000, anything. If you can give it, and if you can dream it for the Boys Choir, you can make it possible. Now, as we close out tonight, I have to tell you, if you aren't done celebrating the St. John's Boys Choir 40th, and you'd like to catch up with others, you may remember, if you want to stay in touch with people you may remember from previous years, hint hint, any alumni that are watching, then surprise, we have a Zoom reception set up immediately following this event. So all you got to do, and if there are any choristers that are watching this, they already know the routine. You can just head to Zoom and you can type in SJBC's phone number for the meeting ID, 320-363-2558, which you can also call to donate. And then also the password is SJB Choir, which is our website. We hope you'll join us to say hello to past and present friends from the St. John's Boys Choir family. So thank you all for being here and helping us make these 40 years not just the closing of a chapter, but a beginning of another even brighter future in the next 40. And thanks to everyone who made tonight possible, including our staff. Denise, thank you for being here, and our board. Kara and Sarah, thank you so much. And all the families for seeing this. You know, the choristers, thanks, guys. Thanks for being here. That means so much. Adam and Open Voices LLC, thank you for making this possible. And Jeremy Ringsmith from JS Ring Studios, he's the tech guy behind the website and all the things. So thank you for making this possible. I mean, we wouldn't have been able to do this without everybody's help. But most importantly, you, all of you who have joined in today and spent your valuable time celebrating SJBC's 40th. We look forward to seeing you in person again soon. And don't remember the Zoom reception, but we're going to go out with Tracy Wong's wonderful arrangement of Wa Bulan by our very own Varsity Choir.